Hey guys, Mr. Letourneau here. Wanted to give you guys a quick demo of how to do a works cited entry for your sources that you're using on any research papers or projects that you might use, so that way you avoid plagiarizing. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at, first off, these are the MLA works cited notes. These are on eCadence, and most likely you're probably going to be using a website or a video, maybe a YouTube video for some of your research. So I put those first. However, I do have the format and some examples of if you are using a book for one of your sources and how to cite that, or a magazine or journal article. So we're going to start though with a page on a website, because I think that's what most people are going to be most commonly using. And so what we're going to do here is, first off, the formatting is a little bit different than a regular paragraph. Instead of indenting the first line, if there's multiple lines to your works cited entries, you're not going to indent the first line, but if you have a second or third or fourth line, that's going to actually be indented. Okay. So that's why it looks a little bit different. But we're going to start with the last name, comma, and then the first name of the author, and then a period. Now, the thing is, a lot of websites aren't going to have the author's last name. If they don't, it's okay. If that's the case, you're just going to start with the article name or the name of the web page, okay? And that's going to have quotation marks around it with a period. The title of the website is going to be italicized. Um, the sponsor is whatever company or government agency created that website. And then you're going to have the date created. If there's no date created, usually you'll find this at the top of the page or the very bottom. If this isn't there, instead of just skipping it, you're going to put N period D period, so for no date, okay? And then next up, you're going to put the URL, and that's the website address. And you don't need the actual page address anymore. In earlier editions of MLA, they wanted you to have basically, the URL up here with like all the crazy letters and numbers. The only thing is, that can change if they change the website, right? So it's like your home address never changes, right? That's your address. But with the internet, a web page address sometimes can change. If they update that site. So we're not going to actually put the page address. We're going to put the site address. And then the last thing is the date of access. And this is when you actually went on. Okay. So for example, here, we've got two examples underneath here. Why don't we talk about this second one over here? So this one, there was no author name. So instead we had the article or web page name. So this one was called Secondary School Teachers Accept Special and Career Technical Education, right? So we got that with quotation marks. The website name was California Colleges, right? So we put that in italics, period after it. The sponsor in this case for this page was State of California. And then the date of creation or the last update was April 2019. And again, if you didn't have a date anywhere on the page for that, you'd put N period D period for no date. And then we've got the URL address, the actual website address right here. And then the date of access. We put access, and remember this is MLA. So just like when we formatted our papers, it kind of goes in a different order. We're going to start with the day as like the number. So this is the 20th. So 20 May and 2019 is when I went on. Okay, now really quickly, I want to talk about how I formatted this. So in order to indent, what I had to do was I had to put my cursor at the end of the first line and press enter once. Okay, usually nothing will happen that you see, but behind the scenes, like in Google Docs, like basically that line is connected. So when I press enter just once, I can go to this second line and then indent with tab, right? Same thing over here where after access 20, I had to press enter once, and then I went to this line and indented once, okay? All right, now let's go ahead and try this on an assignment, okay? So here's this MLA Works Cited practice assignment. So what we're going to do is for this one, we're supposed to make a works cited entry for this web page right here, right? So let's go ahead and open this. So I have it hyperlinked on here, but I already opened it for you. So you just click on it. And here's an article about lab-grown meat. So they can actually grow meat in a lab, right? So right off, I notice this one actually does have an author's name, Nick Lavars. So we're going to put last name, then first name. So if I go back over here, for number one, I'm going to put Lavars, comma, and then space, Nick. Okay. Then I'm going to put a period and a space. Okay. Now, next up, I need the name of the web page or the article. Okay. So in this case, we've got the article name, Future Meats drives cost of lab grown chicken down to $1.70 a breast, right? So I'm going to go back over here. And because this is an article title, so it's an article title or a web page title, we're going to put quotation marks around it. And I'm going to go ahead and type in the title. Okay, and then I'm going to put period, quotation mark at the end there, and a space, right? Okay, now next up, I need the name of the web page. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to see, or sorry, that not the page, the site, sorry. So I just did the article name or the page name. So the site name here, if I look, this is from this website called New Atlas, okay? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to type in New Atlas. Sorry, over here. Okay, and I want this italicized, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do Control I to italicize that. I could also use the button up here. And I'm going to put a period after it and a space. Now, if you notice, this line's not indented. So what I was talking before was I got to put my cursor at the beginning here. I'm going to press enter once. It looks like nothing happened, but it actually separated it from that previous line. Okay, I have to do that and then press tab. Okay, if I don't press enter first and I just press tab, it might basically indent everything, right? Which I don't want to happen. Okay, so I'm going to take off the italics. Okay, next up, I want to write down, if we go back to our notes here. So I've done last name, first name of author, put the article name, I put the title of the website. Next up, I need the sponsor, okay? So what company or government organization made this web page, right? So what I usually want you to find this is I'm looking up top. I don't see anything right now. I'm gonna go down. Sometimes at the bottom of the page, they might have something. Oh, okay, so it looks like this, oh, we got it right over here. This was in the way, but let me move this over. So my screen capture software is in the way, but it says 2023 New Atlas. So there's a copyright. So the company name that made this website is actually the same name. It's New Atlas, okay? So that's the sponsor. So I go back. I'm going to go ahead and put the sponsor name in here. New Atlas. Okay. I'm going to put a period and space. And now I want the date. So the date this is updated or created, right? And so sometimes it's at the bottom, but in this case, if we look over here, it's right over here, December 20th, 2021, right? So I just need the month for this one and the year. So I'm gonna put December 2021, period, then space. Now I need the page name, okay? So I can just put newatlas.com. I don't need the rest of this. Sometimes if you wanna just check, you could click on the actual main page name. Right, so I can grab this if I want. And I should probably put the https:// and then I'm going to put in, oh, it was actually already there. Sometimes when you copy it, it'll have that in there. If it's missing that, you can add it in. We'll just have this over here. Okay. and put a period and a space. And then I want the date of access. So access, and I just went on there right now, today, right? And so here's my date right here. It's October 4th, 2023. So, but remember, we're going kind of out of order for MLA. We're going to go day first. So I'm going to go to number 4 and then a space. And I'm going to type out October as a word, space, and then put the date 2023. Okay, period. Okay, now I'm all done. So that's how I do a works cited entry for a web page or an article from a web page that I use as one of my sources. All right, thanks, guys.